Today we're live on Facebook showing some new technology we've been working on. Not going to give it away yet. I'm going to keep you in suspense. Hopefully we'll get some numbers. It'd be good to show it to more than 2 or 3 people. So in the meantime we're going to have a talk about the company, introduce some of the team here, try not to let you see what's happening over there, so being on the camera, keep it this way.
Hello everybody.
Hello. We'll go through the team that we've got in our Brisbane office first. Starting with this person, we have Darren.
Hi, I'm Darren Draper. I'm the Senior Software Engineer here at GPS Engine.
Nice. We have Jose.
Hi, I'm Jose. I work in GPS Engine projects at the moment. Yeah, Senior Developer as well.
And down on the vodka is...
Hi, I'm Stuart Campbell.
And over there is Sarah, but you can't see her at the moment. She's busy. So while we get things going, we will just talk about the company a little bit. We are a Brisbane-based GPS tracking, vehicle tracking company. We develop platforms that work with multiple hardware options to help people track vehicles, anything, to be honest. If it moves or if it does something, we'll track it and give you the data. What we're showing today is a different way to show that data. It's a way that's never been done before. Using a lot of new technology, it's pretty exciting. It's yeah, we're all excited. Can you tell? I'll get Ben to sort of keep things going.
So it is pretty exciting what we're doing, and I guess it's the future at the end of the day, isn't it? And I think there's a lot of what we're talking about is probably being talked about from a consumer perspective, but where I guess we're excited is where this is heading for the commercial realities.
Yeah, well, the technologies we're working with, all of the media, everything has been about using it in consumer. So can't give away too much here. So we've seen this technology and we've gone, hey, this is really cool, but we see a better application in commercial.
I think it's time to do a reveal, mate.
Is it?
We've got a few people watching.
Yeah.
I think they might be interested in seeing something.
All right. So what we'll do is I'll wander over here. Quick introduction to Sarah.
Hi.
Sarah. And what we'll show you now is a totally different way to view this demonstration as vehicle data, telemetry, locations of vehicles. So what we've got here is pretty cool. What we've got here is AR, using Apple's new ARKit. That was only released less than 2 months ago. This is running Mapbox Maps. Their SDK was only released in a matter of a few weeks ago. This is all running in Unity, and it's probably quite hard to see what this is at the moment, but what we'll show first is there is nothing on our table.
This is like a magic trick.
It is. There is nothing on our table. Well, apart from brushes and glasses. But what we have here, when we look at it through here and also on the big screen, is we see a map of Auckland. Obviously this is global. Mapbox have global maps. We have picked Auckland because one of our resellers are there and they've got a number of vehicles that we could use for this demonstration. So what we can do here is we can zoom in as close as we want to go here and see some of these vehicles. And we can zoom back out. And they are stuck to that table.
So normally when we're viewing map data like this, we're viewing it in a flat screen, and you might be looking at it on a monitor. What we're doing here is that we're really changing the way that people can view and interact with data. If you look towards the future, we're looking at, say for example, these Snapchat glasses which are on the table. We'll all be standing around looking like nerds.
Can you see them? Oh, yeah.
With the Snapchat style glasses, which have a video camera and so on and so forth in them. This is really just the beginning, but it is a very, very exciting time. And just explain what we are looking at there, Jeremy, if you can.
Well, picture this. Yeah, in the future, what I can see happening is there will be no monitors in a workplace. You won't be using a monitor. We'll break away from that 2D visualization for this type of data, and we'll be able to use all of the space around us. So, yeah, this is looking at a map with vehicles. I've got 4 vehicles on there that we can jump around to. If I don't hit the log out button, We can pan, we can zoom.
You can move around the room.
Move around. Well, we can. Well, I'll get them going because there is also a. We can show the entire history of this. So from 4 days ago.
So we're looking at data that's saved within the system. So
Yes.
it's vehicle telemetry.
This even though this is a demo, this is plugged into our platform.
Yep.
So it is pulling real data from real vehicles for the purpose of this.
So we can't stress enough that this is incredibly new. Jeremy said before that Apple announced it to WWDC in June, ARKit, and took the world by surprise. And we've been watching a number of demos out there, people measuring up rooms and having dancing robots on tables. Whereas I guess from our perspective, it's a case of actually looking at it from a commercial perspective and seeing the opportunities.
So what we've seen here is 4 vehicles starting from a base, starting from a location. In a couple of minutes,
Just come back from the table a little bit so we can get a sense of the... Yeah, there you go. That's
Yeah.
it. So that's perfect.
Yeah. So if I've got my timing right, they're about to start driving. So here they go now.
Oh, sorry.
So they're all starting to get on the go. We can zoom in a bit if we need to.
Now, if anyone has any questions, please do ask, and we'll do our best to answer.
I will just slow down a bit. We're 10 times there. We'll go to 4 times, which seems good. So we can follow these vehicles. We've done a lot of work on these Mapbox maps. As I said before, the SDK for this was only released a few weeks ago, and there's a lot we're trying to do with them that just at the moment isn't really.
Get in close into those bigger, so we can see the relief of the buildings. So, I mean, if you go down onto the table,
So we've got some 3D vehicles there, 3D buildings, vehicles driving through. A lot of the work we've done on this is nice draggable maps. That's been a lot of work for the developers. It's sliding maps, so it's infinitely slidable, so we can just go anywhere by sliding, and it loads the new tiles.
So where do you see this, Jeremy, being utilised most? You know, if you were looking at this from a client's perspective.
Well, looking at this, if a client has multiple vehicles that they want to track, you can either look at them on a 2D screen and move around, and you can't really see a lot. You don't get a lot of feeling about where they are. Up until now, it's been the best way to do it. But now, looking at this, you can really get a sense of where your vehicles are. They're driving around the table. You know, it's like it's right in front of you.
Yeah.
Nah, we're losing that guy, so we'll shimmy around and get down in there.
And this really is the start of things to come. You know, this is at the moment, a lot of people are seeing it as an entertainment, whereas I guess where we want to take it is to be a legitimate business tool to be able to do things better.
Yeah, it's the best way to visualise large amounts of data, especially geographical data like this, where you've got things that can be spread out a long way. We could zoom right out.
And the way that it works is it maps to a plane, that's correct?
It's mapping to a plane, yeah. So it's selected that table as the plane. So Apple's ARKit does most of that work. And we've laid the maps there, put vehicles on top, rendered the maps, and
So like you're saying before, you could potentially have, if you had a tablet or a phone or in the future some glasses, you could be standing in an office, and over in one corner of the office is an area which is mapping a particular journey of a courier or a boat or whatever, and there's no geographic boundaries in terms of the data.
Yep, and everyone can even be using the same table to see different things. So for me, I could be seeing my fleet of vehicles driving around this table through my glasses.
Yep.
I can look over here, do my work, have lunch, do whatever.
Yeah.
Come back over here, and my vehicles are still driving around.
Yeah.
As I said before, I actually see the end of monitors in offices, flat screens and that sort of thing. AR, I think, is the way of the future. It's going to change everything. You just can't see this much information on a flat screen.
So there's a real arms race going on at the moment with regard to augmented reality and virtual reality and all the rest. We've been playing with ARKit for a little bit. I would imagine Google's not going to take it lying down.
Hey, Google have to get in. They've had their Google Maps for VR for a while, but no one's done anything with it. And I think it's that same reason everyone's looking at it as a consumer product, going, what can we do to make this cool? But the reality is, they've had a commercial product sitting there for a long time that they haven't given access to or enough access to data. So yeah, hey, it'll change. They'll see this and they'll get on the ball and start getting that data out.
And I guess from the perspective of features and tools and future, I mean, this is what's been accomplished by the team in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
From the point when Mapbox released the connection through ARKit, and well, I guess it's astounding to think what is actually possible in the future.
It is, yeah, and we'll keep working on this. At the moment, this is just a demo. To be honest, the reason we were late...
It's a pretty good demo.
The reason we were late is we were loading our version 7, which had just some features that I wanted to get in here, at the risk of the whole thing crashing because we're loading a brand new version for a demo.
And then we lost the internet, it was all horrible.
We lost the internet.
There was tears and all the rest.
People were crying, especially me. Yeah. But, you know, we pulled it through and we've got it here.
So has anyone got any questions? You know, feel free to ask a question, pop anything in there, and do share this, because like Jeremy was saying before, this is a world first. This is a company, a Brisbane-based company that's done something that no one else in the world has ever done, ever before. So do please share it. You know, support if you're watching. You're obviously a fan of the company, so please share the video and send some likes and you know, really help us make a splash. It's pretty exciting.
It's very exciting.
Jeremy's a bit reserved, but actually he's jumping out of his skin at the moment. Yes.
Yes. What else can we show? It's. I
mean, at the end of the day, it is about changing the way that we visualize data, in a way which changes the way the brain works. I looked at some VR graph analysis where you could stand and look at a graph, and it was 10 stories high. I've played Minecraft in VR and all the rest, and when you spend some time in it, it's really about training the brain to do things a little bit differently. Whenever I see this sort of stuff, I think of Minority Report and all the rest. And if we look at, like I was saying before, these Snapchat spectacles, we're all going to be walking around looking like, oh, there we go, there's a car driving along. There's a live, that's from 4 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
I think the difference is going to come when it's goggles.
Yeah.
This is cool, and the whole idea of this demo is to show the technology. This potentially will be part of our app. We're not sort of guaranteeing that.
Yes, we are.
on an iPad.
Oh.
But the reality is, once it's through goggles,
Deborah's got a question.
Oh,
so
right.
Deborah would like to know: is there a limit to the amount of vehicles you can track at one time?
No, there's not.
No.
Because this is using.
Thanks, Deborah.
Thanks, Deborah. Because this is using Unity, it's actually quite good at putting large amounts of assets in this environment. So as you can see, they're a little bit small, but these are the same sorts of vehicles, if we get close enough in there, as you would have in your, we'll just pause that so we don't chase them, as you would have in a 3D game. So, that's what I was saying before, all of this is sort of built around gaming and consumer. And we've put it into a commercial product that is far better than anything else that's out there.
So you could do, I mean, at the moment we're looking at it on a plane and there's some 3D, but you could actually float pointers, markers above the table, couldn't we? I mean, we could
absolutely.
You could show even things like weather patterns and all the rest.
Yeah, well, I mean, going back to the commercial, mostly for vehicle tracking, we could be showing fixed assets. So you could have machinery running, and you could be showing statistics on that running. You could have buildings or for job dispatch, pickups and deliveries, and they could be highlighted quite well. We're not restricted to the flat plane. No. We can hit the ceiling. We can use the whole room. We could have real live data of the aeroplanes flying around and look up and see them. One thing I wanted to get in the demo just for a bit of a laugh was a pterodactyl flying through and looking up at the screen and flying off again. Just, why not? Because it's all there.
We decided to go with real world GPS coordinates as opposed to pterodactyls, but so Alan would like to know, he says it's very impressive. Thank you, Alan.
Thank you,
Glad you're impressed. Do you envisage a satellite view in addition to the map view? Yeah, well, it's entirely possible, isn't it? in terms of looking down at?
No,
it's not.
No.
Apparently, no.
No, there's no point because
There's no point.
this is just just a quick demo. We haven't spent any time on the maps. These are straight out of Mapbox with no rendering or anything like that. So the idea is the maps can be rendered in real life to look real. So as much as it wouldn't be a satellite view, it would be a very realistic 3D rendered view.
Right. I mean, there is the ability to be able to do relief and so on and so forth. I think if that's by way of satellite view or no.
No.
let's just go with
Well,
no.
I mean, like all the data that Mapbox uses is a combination of data from everywhere.
Yep.
And so, when you start rendering the maps to make them look real, you would use satellite data to do that.
Yes.
But it won't be a flat satellite map as such.
No.
It'll be a 3D rendered map that looks real.
Let's just look at that. There's that little car driving away there. At the moment, it's driving sideways.
He's driving sideways. This is an early stage demo.
But you were talking about the particular GPS data that's coming out of that.
Yes.
There is specifically special because it's
There's not many types of hardware we could have used to do this demo. We've used a product called TrackBox. And the reason we've used them is that they've got a technology called True Path Tracking that records the entire journey that a vehicle does in a way that when we replay that, it looks real.
so it's not jumping all over the show.
It's not jumping. Every other tracking device that we've seen, they sort of poll every now and then. It could be every 30 seconds or every minute or 5 minutes or whatever they do. And if that was the case, you'd see these just bouncing from place to place. We're using TrackBox data. We get to actually drive them in. The vehicle spinning is just us. We just haven't finished that off properly.
Well, you've had 2 weeks. Come on.
Yeah, I know. Don't know what they've been doing.
Imagine what they can do with another 2.
So we can see all the vehicles come in and now. They're all coming back to base. The guys who in the Auckland office there who did this drive for me last week and weren't really sure why. Now they can see why.
Thank you,
The
Auckland
strange
office.
things we request.
You've done well.
Yeah.
So Jeremy's moving around the room, and you can see the tracking is pretty damn spot on. You can do a full 360 around the table, and it manages to track pretty well. And again, this tech really is only a month or 6 weeks old.
Yeah, it was only. I mean,
scary thing what's coming next.
Apple. This is an iPad Pro 2 running iOS 11, which is still in beta.
Yep.
It's not released to the public yet, so no, we can't give you the app yet. Everything we use in here is in beta stage. So this demo's actually gone really well, considering I was expecting crashes and.
You've done well. Now, Deborah's got another question.
Oh.
Deborah, as the system reads the data, is it possible to set alerts if a vehicle stops for an extended period or amount of time, or makes unscheduled stops, diversions from routes?
Absolutely. That's all sort of in the base data, so that's all very doable.
So you, in terms of this technology, you could actually, for example, if you're sitting watching something and an alert goes off, it could actually be a physical, or not a physical, but a visual alert that hangs in the air and says this is happening, or
I mean, the reality is, I was talking to the developer as he was putting the vehicles on the map, and this is off tangent a little bit, but going there, and he placed all the vehicles, and they all went to the same coordinate, and as they went there, they all crashed into each other. So he was wearing his headphones, not thinking much of it, placed the vehicles, and he heard all these explosions and everything. And it's because these vehicles or the assets have everything in it for gaming. So crashing, explosions, everything.
Yeah, wow.
So I mean, the reality is, yes, we could have it so when there's a crash alert that comes out of one of your vehicles, you could have a big explosion and blow things up. You can visually what we're limited to is your imagination on this with this technology.
But that's an important point to again, as we look at visualizing data in a different way, it is about making sure that notifications like that are real world rather than some random number pop up or whatever. It can be something that's more akin to gamification and entertainment. Very cool.
Very cool.
Very
so I think the thing to think about when you're looking at this is the future of it. It's wearing glasses. It's walking into your office and putting your glasses on and not having a desk that you have to sit at. It's working in a room like this. You could have you could have 10 dispatchers working in a room here. All of them have their vehicles on this table, and all of them see different things. You could, I could be looking at Auckland with my sales vehicles, and Darren could be looking at Brisbane with some delivery trucks, and they're all on a table. And it's a lot cheaper to buy a $25 table than it is to buy for around $500-600 flat screen monitors, and far better.
Plus, you could have pterodactyls flying around.
You never know what we'll put in.
Yeah. Actually, we might do some Easter eggs like that. Occasionally, Godzilla will stomp across Auckland, and that could work. Add that to the dev list. Well done, well done. Tara Grace has a question. Sorry, this may sound Tara. Nothing sounds silly. How long have you been working on this project for? Do you want days, hours, minutes? What do you want?
It's important to remember we've built this on top of an existing product. So the background platform is 12 years old. Started at 2005. So what we've done in the last 2 weeks is built the AR part of that. Which is working with the ARKit, working with Mapbox maps, getting assets on there, working with Unity, putting it all together. That's the part that's never been done before. So that's about 2 weeks' work.
Tara Grace said to keep up the good work.
Thank you, Tara Grace.
Probably will. Absolutely.
We intend to.
It is exciting, though. I mean, it's exciting to actually be part of something which is going to potentially fundamentally change the way that people do business.
It is totally. Visualising all this data, I keep going on about it. You can't see enough data looking at a flat monitor. This type of technology hasn't existed before, and everyone who's been playing with it has been playing with it for a consumer product. games and space rockets landing in your backyard and stuff. It's all cool, but when we here, when us guys at GPS Engine saw this, we went, look, this is a commercial product. This is something our customers could use to see their vehicles, to manage them, and it's not just vehicles. We've used vehicles as an example because it's what we do, but it's data. It could be absolutely anything, just overlaid 3D. You could have assets monitoring temperature in buildings, or is your air conditioning working, or are your lights on at home, or whatever it is, and you could highlight your house a different colour if your lights are on, and you could see your vehicles as you're looking around, and you could see your tractor has just rolled over and your husband's driving it, so there's an issue. It's unlimited what we can do with this technology. Yeah,
we don't know. We're at the end of the day, and it's just through people like the developers that we work with within the company, trying things and experimenting. That we'll get to that next stage.
And it's about our customers and Facebook fans and that sort of thing, asking the questions: can you do this? Can you do that? Because hey, we can't think of everything.
No,
most things.
Yeah. But he's very modest.
Yeah. But we love that feedback. We love people getting involved and talking to us about what we can do and what we can't do, and
So has anyone else got any questions? Just so we've got it here, because otherwise we're going to just sit here and play with maps all day. Otherwise,
but that's what I'm doing for the rest of the afternoon.
I mean, if we come, I keep wanting to zoom in on the table with my phone. That won't work. I mean, at the end of the day, it's absolutely astounding what can happen there. It really is the future of data visualization, and it's made everything sexy again, hasn't it?
It's made technology sexy, hasn't it?
Technology sexy.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
It's making the nerds cool again.
Nerds have always been cool, dude.
This is, I keep saying, this is our first cut. This is rolled out 15 minutes before we went live. We will continue working on this too. So, we've got another presentation on Thursday. So, it'll be different by then.
Can we have the pterodactyls by Thursday?
Well, I'll see what we can do. I'd love them. Or a Tyrannosaurus
Rex. Accomplished in 2 weeks. You can do pterodactyls. Easy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, so we'll be continuing on this and throwing more at it and getting more feedback, and I'd like to think later this year we'll have customers using it, but definitely not committing to that at the moment, just because we don't know where it's going.
But even then, the actual barriers to entry in terms of using the technology are light. I mean, all we've got is an iPad
Yep.
and the internet.
Yep.
That's it, and a logged in account.
Yep.
We're not talking about doing anything special.
That was what interested me with AR over VR.
Deborah says it's a very impressive product.
Thank you, Deborah.
You rock.
Thank you. So do you. What got me in AR over VR was I went to buy some Oculus Rift VR goggles because they're cheap at the moment for $600. I thought, cool, I'll get some and play with it. Then I talked to one of my tech advisors, Ben here.
Hello.
And said, now I've got, if I get these, what do I need to run it? And the answer was a $3,000 PC running Windows. What? So the idea
wasn't going to borrow mine.
So the idea of getting into that technology has went out the window just purely because of the cost. Where the next generation iPads that come out, the cost is well below $1,000 for the entry level ones, and they'll all have the right cameras and all the right gear to do exactly this.
Well, we're looking at the release of the iPhone 8 in September, and for all intents and purposes, that is apparently going to be just next level again. They're looking at laser scanning of things and all kinds of stuff. So this ARKit that Apple's released, and we're saying that Google's on a bit of a catch up, and Microsoft to a lesser extent. We're really only just touching the surface. That's been their plan for probably the last 10 years. The miniaturization of technology and the internet and the ubiquitous nature of the way we use these things is it's just catching up with us.
Yeah, it's becoming apparent now how long Apple has been working on this. They've had a clear goal since I think it was about 2010. They were getting patents for technology around this. So they've been working towards this for a long time. We're also really surprised with the quality of ARKit for something that's so new. First cut rolled out pretty much bug free, entirely actually. Give it to Apple, entirely bug free. Apart from being, there's some functionality that would be nice. The ARKit was just stunning to work with.
But even that's changing on a daily basis. If you look at occlusion, so when objects go behind, or AR goes behind objects, I think that was only just released a couple of days ago. So now you can put things on the floor and table legs and get in the way and all the rest.
Which is really funny too, because that was going to be one of the things I was going to say as a negative about this. That if you go, when you do this, you can see
you've just broken the illusion now.
I have.
Oh,
see, but that's fixed apparently.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, only in the last couple of days, so we'll get the devs onto that.
Yeah.
So has anyone got any other questions? Since we've got some very smart people in the room, or are they arriving later? No, we've got the ones that are here. What about you guys over here? Is this? I mean, you guys are at the forefront of, being involved in the code and all the rest. This must be exciting.
It is, yeah. It's very sort of cutting edge stuff to be involved in. So and it's great to see this now on being demoed and that. So yeah.
Where do you see it heading potentially?
I think who knows really. It's limitless where the applications might be going. You can see it's useful for vehicle tracking, but all sorts of tracking of personal tracking. You could vehicles, assets, everything really. So and just seeing it sort of visualised like this rather than in the conventional 2D format, that's exciting stuff. So yeah.
It's very Minority Report, isn't it?
And also great for a little Brisbane company, started in New Zealand, based in Brisbane. Take it on the world. I think Ben mentioned before. If you're watching this now, share it. Get it out there. Tell all your mates what we're doing. We're developing the coolest product in the world at the moment. It's not very often people can say that.
It's very modest, isn't it? Coolest product in the world. If you look on YouTube, if you Google ARKit, you'll see what other people are doing, and there's some very impressive stuff going on. But I think probably the most impressive stuff about what we're doing here is the layering of data. It's not just pretty graphics and all the rest. It's actual real world business intelligence that you can gather and monitor and learn from. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
Well, should we wrap it up there? Is there any final words you want to give us? Please share. Share this video.
Share it.
We
Get
will.
It out there.
We will put some more video up later on. That's a bit more polished rather than us talking and over each other and all the rest. So do watch Facebook, and we'll be sharing much more in the future. This is just the start, isn't it, Jeremy?
This is just the beginning.
You want to give us some final words there, mate, rather than me just talking?
Thank you very much for watching.
Thanks for your support, everyone.
Thank you.
Show us one more time, Gun. One more time.
Let's get several up.
It's flipping cool. All right, everybody. See ya.